Hello everyone out there, I'm X the Monk and welcome to my tutorial. In this one we are going to be building a basalt generation machine that's going to give you about 15,000 basalt per hour. Let's go take a look at the materials we need and start building. Go ahead and pause that video now for a list of building materials. I'm going to call out just a few things for you that's really important. Make sure that you're using blue ice and soul soil. It's not going to work unless you're using those two. If you can't tell what this is, that's a furnace, and then you can use any base building material as long as you've got stairs and slabs with it. Make sure it's not wood though, because it'll catch on fire otherwise. Alright, let's get building. For this machine, we are going to need an area that is 15 blocks long, 9 blocks high, and 11 blocks wide. So starting off here at the very front in the center, I'm going to go ahead and place a staircase and make a U shape out of that. And then in the center of that, I'm going to place a block followed by another one, then our light source block, and another block. At the very first block, I'm going to put one of our buttons, and on that light block, I'm going to place the other one. On either of the sides, it doesn't matter which one, you're going to place 4 blocks on one side and 3 blocks on the other. On the side that you did 3 blocks, you're going to set up 3 double chests coming out of the side here. And then going into these chests, you're going to put a hopper going into each of them. On top of each of these chests, go ahead and set up another double chest on each of them, and a hopper going into each of those 3 chests. At the very end of the line here, I'm placing a hopper going into the other hopper. And at the front, I'm going to go ahead and do it again. For our next step, we're going to place a block at the end of this hopper line on each of the 3 corners. We're going to grab 3 repeaters, and on this furthest back one from the line, the repeater is going to face into the line, and then on these 2 blocks, we're going to face the repeater going out of the line. Then on one of the sides, we're going to come back a total of 4 blocks. Place a sticky piston and a block on top of that, and then we're going to turn and go 2 blocks back, turn for another 2 blocks, turn one last time, and come back a total of 4 blocks. Go ahead and repeat that on the opposite side. At the back of your line here, add a redstone torch and then place 3 blocks on top of it. Then with a repeater, come to the sticky piston and have it coming out of the sticky pistons block with a +1 on the timing tick. Then add a repeater at the end of each of these lines. I went ahead and swapped out anything touching a piston with a copper block just so you can see it more easily. So the next step that we're going to do is add some of our redstone dust. Coming out of this side here behind this repeater, we're going to add a block and add a torch, a redstone torch. Place down a piece of redstone dust there, that'll make your piston go up, and then just repeat the line coming out. We don't want a piece right there because this piston's going to be pushing out and it's not going to do anything. So at the very end of our line here, we're going to go ahead and add a block behind this repeater, and then we're going to add a block on top of it. Go ahead and repeat that on the other side. Going back to the very front of the build, let's finish the AFK area. We're just going to go up 2 blocks and follow that pattern that we've already placed, and then bridge across 2 more blocks next to those hoppers. On the side that you have your chests, you're going to need to use stairs over the chests. Just place them upside down. That way you can still access the inventory. To catch you up real quick, I had some problems with some of my videos, so there were 3 steps that we need to go over. The first one is going to be an observer block back here. It's going to be facing into that hopper line area, and then behind it you need to add a repeater and 2 pieces of redstone dust. On that last block with that redstone dust that you placed there, you're going to have 2 sticky pistons facing left and right. And the important thing about these sticky pistons is we need to place a block against them, but they need to be offset. So as we can see, the top one here, this green copper block, is against the sticky piston, and then this bottom copper block, the green one there, it has a 1 block gap. And our system's going to juggle between the two to offset the chambers that we're firing. The last step that we're going to do is just to add slabs on top of everything up here towards the front and middle. That way we can prevent mobs from spawning while we're AFKing. Let's go ahead and return our focus to the back center here. On top of this observer, let's add 2 blocks followed by a piston facing up, a sticky one, and 1 more block behind that. Let's go ahead and add a block to our sticky piston, and on the front of this line, add an observer facing forward just like before. And behind these 2 blocks that we just laid, let's add some repeaters. Coming up from the very end, let's add a block, and on top of the 2 repeaters, add 2 more blocks. Now we need a bridge across these, so we're going to come up 2 blocks and then break this block underneath it so our piston has room to move. At the very front, we're going to go ahead and surround our observer with blocks on both sides and build on top of them like that. The last thing we're going to do here is on this very end, we're going to add redstone dust and bring it up all the way straight across. Coming back to the end here, we're going to go ahead and place redstone on the back of these 2 blocks right here. And then from this top block, we're going to come out 1 and up, and then turn 90 degrees towards the front and staircase again. From there, we're going to go forward 3 more blocks for a total of 4, and then switch to our furnaces and place 5 of those there. These furnaces should match up with your hoppers that you have there. And then the last thing we want to do here is run this redstone dust all the way across all of these blocks here. Go ahead and repeat that on the other side. Now that the furnaces are in place, we want to add a sticky piston facing inward off of each of these different furnaces, and then add blue ice to each of those sticky pistons. The next thing that we're going to do is just above our observer front here, we're going to add 5 regular pistons facing down. Alright, the next thing we want to do is come down inside and we're going to add our soul soil. Make sure these line up with the blue ice and with your hoppers that you have down below. Then coming above, let's go ahead and finish off our redstone line on top of these pistons. And then we can elbow off of this block right here and cover up our blue ice. We do want to make sure at the front here that we do build up. This is going to make sure our lava doesn't spill out on top of stuff. The last 2 steps that we have now is simply just to add lava to this, the very top, above the blue ice, and just place some glass on top of it. Alright, the only step left is priming our chamber so that we can mine tons of basalt. Let me show you how to do that real quick. If we just come right inside of the chamber right here, you can see this repeater in the back right corner. Hold down your shift button and just place a block there. You're going to hear pistons kind of fire, and if you look up, it's ready to move some basalt in for us. Break that block, and it's going to start dispensing for us. You just have to do this 3 times, and we will be ready to go. Alright, let's go ahead and switch over to survival mode and show you how this works. I've got a beacon buff and an efficiency 5 pickaxe here. So now all I have to do is hold down that mouse click and we start instant mining and collecting basalt like crazy. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, feel like hitting that like button or even subscribing. I have a SMP server that I play around with some friends and my brothers. Feel free to watch those and support the channel if you like. Thanks for watching.